Backyard chickens make sense for Chelsea. Cities and towns all over the country, including Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti, are waking up to the fact that hens, but no roosters, fit in well to an urban or suburban environment and provide their keepers with immeasurable benefits with no negative impact on the neighborhood. Our current ordinance prohibits anybody from raising even one hen on their property, unless they live on 5 acres or more. At the 5-acre point, however, the city allows a resident to keep 500 chickens within the city limits. Not only do these arbitrary numbers make no sense at all, they're harmful and overly restrictive to those of us that cannot afford vast tracts of land. We all benefit when we are allowed to be more self-sufficient in providing for our needs, and having the ability to raise a few hens for egg production is one step toward a more resilient community. Most urban chicken enthusiasts think of their chickens as pets, and raise them in a clean and attractive environment. A small flock of backyard hens can be raised comfortably in a surprisingly small space. A mobile coop, or chicken tractor, is the choice of many backyard chicken keepers, because the hens can have access to fresh forage each day. I could go on and on talking about the reasons people have for raising chickens. Let me instead contrast the backyard hen with another animal that is currently allowed to live among us in Chelsea: the dog. Now, I realize that we all love our dogs. Throughout history, man has lived side by side with both dogs and chickens. As those in small towns across the United States sought to distance themselves from their country bumpkin neighbors, a movement began to push the noble chicken out of sight. Unfortunately, I believe that we have chosen most unwisely. City dwellers are no strangers to the incessant din of the barking dog. This menacing sound carries through the night air, and causes innumerable sleepless nights for the hard-working citizens and studious youngsters in Chelsea. Lack of unbroken sleep leads invariably to depression, dementia, spousal abuse and automobile crashes. Doesn't sound like that is in the community's best interest now, does it? In contrast, hens are nearly silent, and chicken owners can sleep well knowing that their hens are, much like Rumpelstiltskin, spinning straw into gold, creating nutrient-dense eggs and potent organic fertilizer from nothing more than grass, insects and inexpensive chicken feed. Dogs are difficult and expensive to keep, and provide little in the way of payback. They consume large amounts of resources, all of which must be trucked in great distances from large, fossil fuel-consuming factories. For this great societal and environmental cost, we receive in return chewed-up shoes, mud paw prints on the carpet, holes in the lawn, and less space on the bed at night. Did I also mention the mountains of disease-ridden feces? Backyard hens are production powerhouses. With a minimum of inputs, a bowl of table scraps perhaps, and some grass plucked from underfoot, maybe an unlucky caterpillar and some fresh water, a backyard hen produces the most highly nutritious eggs to be found anywhere. High in protein and omega-3 fatty acids, with richly colored and deliciously creamy yolks, the egg is truly the ultimate superfood. Although 5 hens produce less waste than a medium-sized dog, the hens share with us a small amount of future fertility for our organic gardens in the form of chicken manure. Dogs are notoriously dangerous and aggressive, and create a climate of fear and subservience wherever they are present. Oppressive regimes through the ages have sought to harness this intimidation factor in order to squash individuality and dissent. Joggers and postal workers tremble at the sight of a 3-foot-tall dog barking wildly and springing upward behind a 4-foot fence. Chickens believe that a society should be based on the principles of mutual consent and equal rights for all. Like Lysander Spooner, 19th-century abolitionist, and Frederick Bastiat, French political philosopher and economist, they are strict adherents to the principle of non-aggression, which states that it is always amoral for an individual, a group, or a government to initiate the use of force against another individual, group, or government. To recap, Chelsea's current laws encourage sleepless nights, melting the polar ice caps, mountains of feces and vicious attack on children and the elderly. Conversely, by banning chickens, Chelsea's ordinance opposes fresh, nourishing eggs, food self-sufficiency, control over the quality of our food, and undue restrictions on Chelsea's property owners. I think that all parties involved are intelligent and creative enough to come up with a solution that all of us can live with. Our main task will be educating people about the real nature of chickens and cutting through the misinformation and anti-chicken bias that is all too common. But a few of us can't do this alone. Please sign our contact list and join our Facebook page, Chelsea Backyard Chickens. This needn't be a divisive issue. Not matter where you stand politically, we all need to eat. This recording was created using spoken text, the free online text-to-speech converter. To learn more about spoken text, visit www.spokentext.net.